How's everyone on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday? It's a grey old day out there, a little bit foggy, but got out early for the run. You can hardly see anything out there because of the fog that's going on in Sydney. Beautiful morning, but however, great day for running, perfect weather. Cameron, Johnny, thanks for joining us. We're going to bring us in a special guest today and just adding him in right now. Man, Tony Meredith. Good to see you on. Just getting that connection through right now. A lot of insights from Tony. He's a life and business coach, bit of a property guru as well. Good to see you on, Tony. A little bit fuzzy there in Brisbane. Getting a good connection, are we?
How are we going?
How is everyone on
Hello,
this
mate.
fine morning? Yeah, great. How are you? You're on the front deck, are you? Oh, you're dabbing.
Mate, I am on the front deck. How's this? Have a look at this. Just hang on. Just bear with me. Let me show you a Sydney siders. Just have a look at this. See that over
Have a look at that.
there?
Oh, that's Brisbane. Brisbane City.
There you go. There's the city.
Way
Brisbane
too
City.
much fog, bad connection. Yeah, we've got. I think the connection's a little bit better. Let us know, guys, if you're seeing that connection come through. Well, I've got the great man Tony Meredith. He's a life business coach, a bit of a property guru in the making, and you're really getting things working in terms of helping others.
Yeah,
Is that
correct.
the focus,
100%.
Tony?
Yeah, my primary focus is to help people get out of their own way. If I could simplify it. So what I've discovered is that I used to be in my own way, and I was able to get out of my own way. And so with all the strategies, techniques,
Why were
skills,
you in your own way?
Oh, because I was in my own head. I was in my own head. I was in a dark space. I was unfulfilled in my job. I had a whole range of fears and limiting beliefs, and the stories that had been I'd accumulated from experiences and family and work and all that sort of stuff. So, mate, massively in my own head, massively in my own way, and it's one of those things where it took me a long time to realise that I wanted to actually get out of my own way, and that was back in 2015. Sorry, mate, I live in a flight path as well, so I'm not sure if you can hear the planes coming overhead.
No, all good. So
All
cold
good.
and foggy in Sydney. Absolutely. Davina has been running around. I was out there on the Bay Run. I think I missed you. I got there slightly earlier than you, Davina, this morning. Connection is fine. Can't see Luke. Too foggy. Absolutely. Brock, good to see you on. Outstanding performance there on, what night was that? Thursday night.
I did an amazing job, didn't he? It was a great event. In fact, I wanted to say, firstly, mate, the first thing I wanted to do was to do a dab. Obviously, I needed to do one of those, given you've called me out on it. But I wanted to say happy birthday to you and Mark, and congratulations on your first year birthday, all the success you guys have had. So I wanted to acknowledge that, and I've been able to see some of the inner workings with what I do with you guys, and it's been amazing transformation. So I want to congratulate you guys on what you've achieved in a year. I also want to thank Mark and Brooke and Taylor and Sean and Brendan for the amazing event on Thursday night in Brisbane. It was an incredible event, really well thought out event about the whole process of property investing, from getting some finance, right the way through to buying a property, adding value through that, and then over the top with some additional income through more efficient energy, i.e. solar. So it was a great event. Well done.
Yeah, I think we are getting a bit of a bad connection, and you might be on Wi-Fi
Hey,
or something there. I don't know if you can switch over to 4G.
Right,
Anyway, that's all happening there. Yeah, we still got you there, Tony. So I think he's switching over to the 4G network, and hopefully, so Tony was mentioning the event that we had in Brisbane on Thursday night, a real great event. And I think the theme around it for everyone was really around the idea of cash flow. So it was really good to see ways that you can increase your cash flow. Obviously, we're doing property deals in towards, and we've lost Tony for a short time, but we'll bring him back on. But we're doing property deals that are some really good cash flows, obviously better than cash flows than Sydney. But you also got, it is freezing, Natalie. It's so cold. Yeah, kids using Wi-Fi, that's probably a problem, Cheryl, as well. But we highlighted a few things in that event. in regards to having other speakers come on, and we had Sean come there and talk about granny flats and the benefits of granny flats can provide you as a property investor, and then also looking into the space of solar. So that was kind of exciting for me because I haven't got into the solar space, but I think it can provide me in my property investing with a lot more options and a lot more added benefits and I'm looking to add Tony, but can't quite get him on as yet, and can't quite add him. So Tony, if you can request yourself to come on, that'll be great. So a lot going on in that space of cash flow. We were just talking to Tony about some ideas around our business and his influence that has really helped us in the first year that we've been operating. So we're 1 year into business. Search Party Property is making waves in the buyer's agency space, and we look forward to creating even more havoc in future. I had a lot of clients come on. We're doing multiple deals, and we're really pressing forward in terms of making things happen in the property investment space in markets around. So I'm just tapping on. We're still waiting for Tony to get back to come and join us. He's provided us with a real good insight, and I guess if you've got a business partner out there and if you're working with someone else, it's really good to get someone outside and independent. Obviously, it's great that Tony knows a lot about myself, about Mark individually. We're speaking to him individually, and also we're speaking with him collectively as well. So just getting him back to come on and join us. Yes, I'm adding you right now, Tony, so you should see that connection come up on your screen. Hopefully we get you back on, adding you right now. Look at the skies around us. It's absolutely incredible here in Sydney. I don't know what the hell's going on, but Tony is connecting right now. We've got the great man back on. Tony, the guru, Meredith, how are you? Yes, he's frozen for a bit in time there. Yeah, got you back on. Got you back on.
I'm hoping that's got us sorted. Great. Where were we? So we were talking about what were we talking about? We were just talking about me getting the event was fantastic. It was a great event, and what I loved about it, as I said, is that it wasn't just about either one aspect. It was all aspects that involved in creating a successful property investing. If you're looking at getting into property investment, then I would strongly encourage you to look up the guys here, Search Party Property. Because the event wasn't just about the housing side of things, it was about finance. It was about how you add value through, putting on granny flats and utilising the land that you've got, how you can increase the yield on your property, and then how you can even further increase the yield through, solar energy. There's a whole lot of wonderful things that you can do to, it can be a win-win-win where the tenant can win and also you as the investor can win. So I found it incredibly fascinating and would encourage anyone who's considering that space to get in touch with Luke and Mark and see when the next one is.
Actually, it was really interesting. Brendan brought up a really good point in the whole factor of bringing in solar onto your investment properties. Do you remember that one? Do you remember that
sure
key point? Okay.
Well, the key point that I got out of it was just that it's a win-win-win. That was the piece that I got, that you can add additional income through solar, that you can also add additional savings to your tenants, which creates a sticky relationship with your tenants. But you can also get additional money. I got there in the end.
Sticky relationship. We'll get there at the end. No, but what Brendan was saying is putting solar on there, and obviously helping with bills, electricity bills, and things like that. You actually keep a tenant for the longer term. I think he said the average is 50% longer if you've got the solar panels in there. So that was quite significant. Tony, I just wanted to go on the coaching side for a second, because while you were off air there, I was talking about working with you individually, so you and I, and then you yourself and Mark, as well as a collective basis, so having us all three of us together.
Yes.
I wanted to know from you, you talked a little bit about earlier that aspect of
getting out of your own way.
Getting out of your own way, but also the aspect of really working with us and our growth over the 12 months that we've been in business. So can you talk us through that?
Sure. So let me just talk very top line about what I do, right? So the first thing that I do is I understand where people are at from a mind point of view, because I mentioned earlier that I get in my own way, and we all get in our own way, and I was in my own way a lot. I still get in my own way occasionally, but certainly nowhere near as much as what I used to. And that's the first thing, is to understand why is someone where they're currently at, and so there's a whole range of ways that you can unpick that. From there, it's about working out what do people want. Right, so you
Mm,
have to have something that you're aiming towards. So for you guys, obviously starting out in your business, it was all about challenging you on, what sort of numbers do you want? How many property transactions do you want in your business? Now, obviously that then rolls up to a financial number, because let's be honest, you're in business, I'm in business from a commercial point of view, but it was all about how many property transactions do we want? And so it's then simply a case of going, well, that's what I want. Here's where I am today, and there's this gap or this massive chasm in between. And then it's about working backwards to say, well, now here's the steps, the actions, the milestones that I'm going to take. If that's what I want, then what are the things that I need to do? And it's two questions, Luke. So one is, A, what is it that I want? But the second question, which is just as important, is what am I prepared to sacrifice? And the reason why I like to ask that question, whether it be of you guys or any of my clients, is people will want $1 million, right? But in order to get $1 million, guess what? There's a whole lot of hard work, blood, sweat, tears, patience, persistence, all those types of things, right? So in order to get that, so then the flip side question is, what are you prepared to sacrifice? Because if you just want to stay on the couch watching Netflix and not do the work, well, you can want $1 million all you want, but the reality is it's not going to happen. So the first thing is to work out what is it you want. The next is to create an action plan. It's all about action, and I think you were indicating around gym and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, well, if you want six-pack abs, which I have had once, and they're still in there, they're just covered at the moment. They're covered with ice cream at the moment, but
that's another story.
yes, it is. Yes, we haven't got that long. But if you want six-pack abs, you have to do the sit-ups, you have to watch your diet, you have to exercise. And so you've got to put the effort in, you've got to do the activity. You can want six-pack abs all you want, but if you sit on the couch, watching the football and eating CCs, well, it's probably not going to happen.